Hello everyone, today is 4th of April, now it's 6 o'clock in the evening Moscow time. I'm Levan Gudadze and this is new episode of Headlines, short summary of the news that I will talk about during the second news update of the day on my Patreon page. And that being said, let's go through some headlines now. And Vzglyad newspaper reported today that Russian armed forces shut down Ukrainian SU27 fighter jet in Kramatorsk area. This information is based on a report of Russian Defense Ministry. Also, RIA Novosti is reporting that, according to Defense Ministry's report on progress of special military operation during the previous 24 hours, Russian armed forces conducted a strike on a tank school in Kharkiv. And in that area, according to this report, there was not just military personnel of Ukrainian armed forces that were training to operate with their tanks and some other Western-made military equipment, but also foreign mercenaries were located there, and officers of Ukraine's secret services. So quite successful strike on part of Russian armed forces. Vzglyad newspaper is reporting, and by the way, according to some reports, there were also Western military equipment in that area. So definitely a successful strike by all means. Vzglyad newspaper is also reporting that Ukrainian armed forces deploying additional reserves in Avdiivka direction because they are unable to hold on their defense lines, as I reported in my previous updates. Even Berdichi now is under Russian control, and basically on Avdiivka sector of the front line, Kiev regime forces are struggling to maintain defense lines despite deployment of more and more reserve forces. And I remind you, dear friends, that according to Russian Defense Ministry's reports, daily reports on progress of special military operation, just in Avdiivka sector of the front, Ukrainian armed forces are losing at least half of the battalion every single day, and sometimes even up to battalion of manpower, from 300 to 500 military personnel, to be more precise. RT is reporting that Ukraine's top brass believes that Western F-16s no longer relevant, and well, article was published on this topic on Politico, US media or propaganda outlet. And dear friends, if you are new to this channel, I will notice that all this news that I'm reporting in this short video in headlines will be discussed in little more detail during the second news update of mine on my Patreon page. And let's continue. RT is also reporting that world is in pre-war period, according to UK Defense Minister. Okay, this scaremongering tactic is not stopping from Western so-called elites. RIA Novosti is reporting that consultant of State Department named states, NATO member states, that are preparing their militaries to deploy into Ukraine. Interesting. RT reports that, well, according to Tulsi Gabbard, former presidential hopeful and former Democratic Congresswoman, Tulsi Gabbard stated that Biden wants to destroy Russia. Well, she is not wrong, but I will add that Biden and his administration, and in general Western ruling class, wants to destroy probably the entire world. They are full of hatred, those disgraceful degenerates, and they are psychopaths, so they will probably happily destroy everything on this planet, and they are definitely pushing this world towards total annihilation. Interfax news agency is reporting that well, a number of NATO member states are very skeptical that it will be possible to create this new fund for Kiev regime for 100 billion euros, 107 billion US dollars, that was initiated by Secretary General of the NATO Jens Stoltenberg. I reported about this initiative of Stoltenberg in previous updates. RIA Novosti is reporting that a US journalist, Tucker Carlson, reported that he failed to conduct interview with Zelensky, so-called president of Ukraine, because his calls for interview were ignored. What a surprise. TASS news agency is reporting that press spokesman of Russian President Dmitry Peskov commented on allegations that Georgian ruling party has any connections. Georgian ruling party's decision to initiate again voting in the parliament of Georgia on a draft bill about foreign agents has any connection with Russia. And I don't think that there can be any questions that any country in this world that wants to maintain at least some level of sovereignty wants to know on what level foreign interference is in that country. And Georgia is no exception. And by the way, unfortunately, Western secret services directly or indirectly have quite significant assets in Georgia, and this former Soviet Republic already pay heavy price, and society of Georgia already pay heavy price for this interference in Georgia's internal affairs by Western ruling class. So even though I'm not citizen of Georgia, I was born in Georgia and used to be a citizen of that country, and therefore I personally definitely support this initiative of Georgian government to initiate lustration process in the country and vote for that bill to know for sure which NGOs, which political parties, which organizations in the country are financed from outside of Georgia. It's necessary for security of Georgian society. Absolutely. And dear friends, you know, in previous updates, I mentioned that probably US Secret Services, Washington will try to destabilize Georgia because during the first attempt to vote for this bill in 2023, Washington definitely tried to destabilize Georgia, conduct some regime change. They failed in 2023, but they tried because they want to use Georgia as a kind of second front against Russia. They want to sacrifice Georgia like they are sacrificing Ukraine for their geopolitical agenda. And unfortunately, my prediction was correct, and we already know that this evening, for example, probably at this point when I'm recording this update, assets of Western secret services and people, especially younger generation that are under influence of Western propaganda, are beginning to gather next to Parliament building, and I'm afraid disturbances in Georgia will begin from today. And of course, I will report about developments in this former Soviet Republic in my next updates also. Anyway, let's continue. And Zglad newspaper is reporting that, well, yet again, Georgia, by the way, republic in southern Caucasus region, and according to this information, officials in Tbilisi are categorically denying information that was published in the Insider, according to which wife of US diplomat was attacked in Georgia by Russian secret services. Georgia denies this claim from Insider, and by the way, even US did not brought any charges. So Insider is coming from, I don't know. Probably this is once again indicator that more to come from Western propaganda outlets, because they won't destabilize Georgia and they will use any excuse to destabilize this republic, conduct regime change, and then sacrifice Georgia by using it as a kind of second front against Russia, so that Western ruling elites, ruling class, will have a better chances to achieve their sick geopolitical goals. Because they are all sick, by the way. Entire Western ruling elites should be neutralized immediately, but unfortunately it cannot be done. Interfax is reporting that Finland made a decision to prolong border closure with Russia. Okay. RT's report that Boeing output plummets as safety fears linger, and this was reported by Reuters news agency. Well, Boeing, it's a difficult times for Boeing, and most likely this giant is going down. RT's report that EU boosts gas purchases from Russia. Also, numbers are coming from Reuters news agency. Interesting information. And finally, Interfax is reporting that international reserves of Russian Federation decreased on $0.7 billion from 22nd to 29th of March, and at this point are on the level of $590.1 billion. So Russian reserves, by the way, right now at this point are approximately, because since 29th probably there were some changes, but approximate number is $590.1 billion US dollars. Quite a significant safety cushion, I will say. And well, this is it for now. Quite short video, and hopefully you will find it somewhat informative, interesting, and if so, please click that like button, leave some commentary just about anything, any topic. More likes and comments will definitely help to deal with the algorithm on both platforms, Rumble and YouTube. And for very same reason, if you can, please share links to my videos and my channel with your friends on any of the platforms that you're actively using. And finally, if you think my channel is interesting, useful, informative, and deserves to exist, please consider to support my work with small donations through PayPal, Boosty, or by subscribing to my Patreon, on which I'm publishing some extra content on regular basis. All the links are under this video in the description box and in the pinned comment. This is it for now. Have a great day and take care.